Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila's hunt, grisly find or dud? Bold and the Beautiful spoilers have Sheila Carter's hunt leading to a horrible discovery coming week on the CBS cleaner. But this ghastly discovery might have nothing to do with Sheila at all. You have to admit, whatever her son and Swain discover under that mask, the bone. With breathless fritters sticking out from under, it wouldn't probably be enough sight. But the question moment is whether Sheila is the bone. They find as they desperately seek the woman with 9 toes. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers Sheila Carter dead? Is Sheila Carter dead or alive? Come Monday, when her grieving Swain and confused son discover what lies in that abandoned structure, we might find out. Hints of a horrible discovery showed up as Friday's thriller. The camera honed in on a hand of breathless fritters skimming out from under an unprintable mask. Deacon Sharp offers up his worries a many times to Finn during this quest for Sheila. He tells John Finnegan further than formerly on Bold and the Beautiful that they could be too late. Bold and the Beautiful Sheila Carter B&B CBS so, to say they re-hot on the trail of Sheila Carter would be a stretch. That's because Deacon mentioned that Sheila's been missing for 2 weeks, that's if she's alive. If starts to look like the keyword then. Especially since Sheila has not been seen on Bold and Beautiful during that time, not indeed lurking in the murk. B&B spoilers Sheila could be alive still, a frontal runner for numerous suckers, she could be alive if Bold and the Beautiful plays out the interned proposition. Sure, a chance that she could be long gone still lingers. Perhaps indeed living her new stylish life nearly differently. But Sheila eventually set up love with Cleric. Plus, she'd probably find it hard to leave behind what she considers her only family, Finn and his son. Still, you'd suppose she'd at least show up skimming around a corner. So, if she's alive and held unturned, she's likely starving or starved to death by now. The proposition that sugar allured Sheila in and manacled her now has that 2-week timeline on Bold and the Beautiful. So, unless some compassionate homeless person is feeding her, she's likely expired. This falls in line with what Deacon suggested preliminarily, that it might be too late. Bold and the Beautiful dead or sickly foreigner Sheila Carter might not be in that structure at all. The homeless fellow was quick to want some plutocrat before supplying any word. So, can you indeed trust what he said to be true? But his response to Sheila Carter's print suggests he's seen her. Cleric seems to have a sixth sense about chancing Sheila Carter too late. Bold and the Beautiful can take this plot in multitudinous directions. But if she's set up dead, this means further of the same celebrating for some characters, with dread and hidden sadness for others. Still, they could start her on the road to redemption if she's alive. This proves she's not the person who went after Steffi Forrester. It also proves she did what she said she'd do, leave them alone. Or, Bold and Beautiful could have her come back with a case of amnesia. That's another way suckers suggest could pave a road to redemption. But first, Cleric and Finn stumble on a horrible discovery in that abandoned house. Indeed, if it's not Sheila and turns out as some homeless person only passed out. This likely wouldn't be easy on the stomach either way. So, would Bold and the Beautiful spin Friday's thriller into a dud? After all Deacon's angst, will their discovery still end up ghastly yet have nothing at all to do with Sheila Carter? So, the possibilities are endless for Sheila Carter's fate. She's either alive and in trouble or alive and living nearly differently under a new name. Also the worst-case script, they find her near death or dead. Sheila's dirty or dead fritters exposed? Bold and the Beautiful spoilers use Sheila Carter for Friday's thriller after breathless fritters stick out of a dirty mask on the CBS cleaner. While the scene suddenly stopped, hints dropped suggesting that the hand likely belonged to Sheila. So, come Monday, it looks like Deacon Sharp may deliver his pledge. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hunt for Sheila Carter. Sheila Carter's, Kimberlyn Brown, toes had a lot of airtime on B&B in the last many weeks, despite the fact she's nowhere around. But for Friday's thriller, her fritters sounded to be what Bold and the Beautiful concentrated on. Or at least suckers assumed those fritters belonged to her, but observers have been wisecracked ahead. They could belong to just about anyone when coming week rolls around. Is Sheila Carter leaving Bold and Beautiful? Deacon Sharp and Finn head to a position set up on a convenience store. Damage from Sheila Carter's credit card purchases. But first, Bold and the Beautiful suckers came privy to Cleric telling John Finnegan commodity that sounded like a hint. He indicated that the store is in a raggedy part of city. So, off they head to find Sheila, but the convenience store clerk said she no way saw her. Also, Deacon and Finn questioned a homeless man who was exorbitantly anxious to help. Also, he gave them some information for their hunt. Next, Sheila Carter's son and bereft swain head to the place where the homeless man last saw her. B&B spoilers: Sheila's fritters not toes. The homeless man saw a woman who looked like the picture of Sheila Carter that her anxiety-riddled swain showed him. The man told the two Bold and the Beautiful amateur investigators that she went into a structure behind him. But that was days agone. Also, he heard screaming. But when asked if he reported this, he was indignant and said no. He told Sheila's son and swain that he demanded to stay out of effects. It's the law of survival on the thoroughfares. And he comforted them that the screaming eventually stopped. So, Finn and Deacon head to the abandoned structure on Friday's Bold and the Beautiful. What they find outside is a mess from the homeless squinching there. The camera kissers. To mattresses and robes each over the place. This is littered with scrap and bestrewn with bottles and barrels. Before Cleric and Finn see what lies under one of the dirty robes, the camera zones in on it. A breathless and unprintable hand is slightly exposed, so you only see fritters. It's seen for only one transitory moment, so you can't tell if they belong to Sheila. But you can see that the hand looks either dirty or discolored by death. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers: what do they find? Before anything popped up suggesting Sheila Carter was there, the scene cut off. Bold and the Beautiful gave a regard into a place so disgusting that it's hard to believe Sheila would stay there on her own accord. No matter how honest the homeless man sounded, he suggested that Cleric grease his hand with plutocrat first. So, the jury is still out on who or what he saw and heard. Perhaps he was only looking for a quick buck and would say anything to get that. Cleric offered a timeline on Sheila Carter's exposure. He said during this hunt that she's been missing for 2 weeks. So, if she was lying under that mask all that time, there's not important stopgap. That's if it's indeed her. They could always discover someone differently there. So, Sheila might have been held and turned against her will nearly differently in the structure. This could be the case if what the homeless man said rings true. It's also possible she could still be in that structure nearly differently. But also again, Bold and the Beautiful might have put that scene of the fritters in last week's occasion for an enticing Friday thriller. With that said, Deacon Sharp popped up like a true idol and declared that moment would be the day they would find Sheila. But he also added his biggest solicitude: they might be too late. So is another burial for Sheila in the cards? Or will they find Sheila Carter and her croaker? Son could save her again on the CBS cleaner?